Now in this next example, what I'm going to do is solve this using two techniques. Now, the reason why I know I want to factor out a negative first is because typically when factoring, we don't like having something in front of x squared. So if you can factor it out, I usually recommend my students to do that first. And here we can factor out a -1 because if I multiply that negative in both terms, I'd get back my solution. Now, technically, when you only have two terms and there's a difference of them and they're both squared terms, like x squared and this would be 3 squared, you can factor using the difference of two squares. So the factored form of this would be x minus 3 times x plus 3. Now, what I want you to recognize here is this negative is again that scalar multiple. It's not actually going to be impacting any of my answers. If you want to write it with one of your factors, that's perfectly fine. It's not going to change the answer. And you'll see what happens here is when I go ahead and solve this, right, the first thing I'm going to do is divide by -1. So I'm just going to get x equal 3, but then over here, I would subtract that. So always look out for those scalar multiples when you factor them out first.